This is kind of cool. I figured I'd film this. It's like an old pickaxe or something down there. Right along the railroad tracks, so it might be from the original railroad that running through here. Yeah, why not? I'll grab it. Maybe I'll take it with me. Didn't find too much other than a few spalls of flint. Just that one pink flake. But this is kind of neat, I guess. Double bit. Alright guys, I'm out. Alright guys, I'm going to try to be loud enough here so you can hear me. I just hunted my site. I didn't find anything on my site. So I started walking this little gravel bar through here. And I just spotted a really nice triangle. Like perfect. I can't see one little section of it like towards the tip. But I can tell it's going to be a nice point. Nice and thin. Let me get you down here. It's super windy today. So waves are going to be loud. But bear with me please. This looks stellar. Wow. Here you have it. Oh my god, is it just thin. Perfect. Wow. That's pretty good size, and that's a nice one. It's not always easy to find a totally complete triangle. Just walked up on this big dude. Kind of chilling out in this shallow water. Big old carp. I was a little bit quicker. I probably could have caught him with my hands. He was sitting right here on the bank. There he goes. Alright, still pretty windy down here. The sun came out a little bit though, which is nice. But I just found a nice little piece of pottery right here. You can kind of see all the designs on it. Oh yeah, nice and burnt on the other side. It's pretty cool. Hopefully I find another point here. Wish me luck, I'm out. Just found another, what looks to be another tooth down here. I imagine this is a deer tooth. But it looks pretty old. Pretty neat. It's all like, it's like all the roots are there except for one. One broke off. Pretty cool. You can see how far the water has dropped. It came up to like 14 feet. Or 14 and a half this morning. And then dropped all the way down to like 13 and a half, somewhere in there. So I have a chance of something being washed out here in the water. We'll see what I can find. I'm out, guys. Alright guys, I'm just kind of exploring at this point. I'm not sure if I'm on a site or not. I'm not seeing much fire rock. A little bit here and there, but just like a big flint spall here, like a waste piece of the cortex. I just recognized it off this orange cortex. You can see it's worked all through here. And that's what we got. I'd say that's definitely used. I probably made an arrowhead out of the other side of this. This was probably a pretty good size pebble. So, oh well, that's what you gotta look for. Stuff like this, you gotta know what chert is local to your area. Get in the sun, you can kind of see the color of it. Beautiful, beautiful chert. I'm gonna keep looking around here. Oh, you can see I'm like in a really, really junky area. A lot of trash is washed up here in the last flood. And it looks like I have a horseshoe. A nice old horseshoe just fell out of the bank. Yeah, it's good size. It's a big horseshoe. Still has some of the nails in it. How cool is that? Wonder how old that is. Fell right out of the bottom of this bank. Alright guys, I just pulled this giant chunk of black flint out from underneath that bank. It was trapped underneath those roots up there. But it's pretty nice looking stuff. It has the cortex on it, like an orange cortex, and it's black inside. A little bit of red there. I wonder if it was heat treated or something. It's something they were using. Down here it looks like I have a shell casing. pretty small caliber. Wipe it off, see I can see what it says. Oh, there we go. 38 special. Just like the band. It's a pretty cool find. Wonder the last time someone was shooting a 38 down here. It's awesome. Alright, so I want to talk to you guys about some of the triangles that I've found. Here they all are. I have them laid out kind of like, I don't know, the evolution of the point. You know, these first three, these are more of a woodland thing than a Mississippian thing. They're just too big to be used on a bow and arrow. And they probably could have been used on a bow and arrow, but I truthfully believe, being from woodland culture, that they would have been used on that level. See some of these bigger Levanna points. Now there's a point way up north. I believe it's called a midland. It's a triangle, and it's like an early woodland thing. And it's very similar to these two. They kind of have a straight base on them rather than concave like this Levanna. Now over here is a classic Levanna. This is probably a later one. See, it has the very concave base, and one of the ears sticks out longer on one side than the other. This point right here, I believe this is a Madison. It's later, definitely a bow and arrow point. Same with this one. This one is also probably a Madison, broken. I believe this one's a Madison too, but this point, and this point are very rare. They're called Monongahela's. And, well, as you can see here, 90% of the time, triangles are broke. They have an ear or a tip missing. It's very hard to find them whole. But these points down here are extremely rare. They're only found in a very small area. And well, while I have this book out, I talked to Stanley W. Lance. I showed him my collection. He's a famous archaeologist who wrote this book with Gary Fogelman. I'm sure you've heard of Gary Fogelman if you've been interested in this for any amount of time. But when I showed him these 3 points, he looked at me and said, "That's rare as hell." You know, that he had only found one of them in his entire career. That was really neat. Never thought a little triangle would be worth anything or that cool, but they sure are. Beautiful little collection of triangles.